Class 12th, Subject Physics, 13th chapter, AC Circuits. Let us see the introduction of this chapter, that is AC circuits. We know that there are two types of supplies of electricity, namely first is DC, that is direct current, which has fixed polarity of voltage, that is positive and negative, and second is AC, that is alternating current, for which the polarity of voltage keeps changing periodically. Now, some of the appliances like television, computer, transistor, radio, etc. convert AC to DC with the help of a rectified circuit before using it. Similarly, some of other appliances such as fan, refrigerator, air conditioner, induction heater, coil heater, etc. run directly on AC. And now let us see AC generator. This point already we have studied in the previous chapter, and therefore we know that the time dependent EMF E, produced by the source of AC is given as E equal to E0 sin omega t. E equal to E0 sin omega t, equation number 1, where E0 represents the peak value of EMF and omega represents the angular frequency. Now, as the time variation of the current is similar to that of EMF, the current in the circuit connected to AC source will be given as I equal to I0 sin omega t plus alpha, equation number 2. So EMF is given as E equal to E0 sin omega t. Current is given as I equal to I0 sin omega t plus alpha. Both are the AC EMF and the current. In this case, I0 will represent the peak value of current, and this alpha will represent the phase difference between the EMF and the current. Now, let us consider the graphical representation of EMF against omega t. So EMF is plotted along y-axis, omega t along x-axis. Omega t is plotted as 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. So for a complete cycle of the coil, the phase difference will be equal to 2 pi, and therefore the corresponding period will be equal to capital T. Then for half the cycle, period will be equal to T by 2 corresponding to pi, and therefore from this graph it is clear that the direction of EMF is reverse after every half revolution of the coil. So if you consider this half revolution, for this half revolution EMF is towards positive side. For the next half cycle EMF is towards negative side, and therefore after every half cycle of revolution of the coil there will be reversal of the EMF, and therefore this type of EMF is called as alternating EMF, and the corresponding current will be called as alternating current. So in this case E0 will represent the peak value of the EMF, that is the maximum value of EMF. Now let us see what is average or mean value of AC. Average or mean value of AC. So the average or mean value of AC is the average of all the voltages or the currents over one half cycle. So this average value or mean value will be defined for only half cycle. The reason behind it will be that the average over the full cycle, is always 0 for that cycle, since the average value of sine omega t over a cycle is equal to 0. So for a complete cycle, for a full cycle, the average value of sine omega t, this sine omega t is equal to 0, and hence instead of a full cycle we will consider only half a cycle to find out the average or mean value. Now the average value of sine theta, that is sine omega t, in the range 0 to pi radian, that is for half cycle, is given as, it will be given as average of sine theta equal to, average will be found here, integration from 0 to pi sine theta d theta upon integration from 0 to pi d theta. So that will be equal to integration of sine theta is minus cos theta, and therefore it is minus cos theta from 0 to pi divided by integration of d theta is theta from 0 to pi. Now putting upper and lower limits for numerator as well as denominator, we will get here minus cos of pi, that is upper limit, minus of cos 0 divided by pi minus 0. So upper limit minus lower limit, upper limit minus lower limit. Now putting the values of numerator, we will get minus of minus 1, because here cos pi will be minus 1. So minus of minus 1 minus of minus 1 divided by pi. So this will become plus 1, this will become plus 1, therefore we will get 2 upon pi, and therefore we can write average value of sine theta equal to 2 by pi. Putting value of pi, we will get 2 upon 3.142, that will be equal to 0.637, and therefore the average value of EMF or current, for both EMF as well as current, the average value will be given by the formula 0.637 into peak value, 0.637 into peak value of EMF or current, that is we can write E average value of EMF, E average equal to 0.637 E0, and the average value of current I average equal to 0.637 I0. And now let us see the next point, that is root mean square, or in short RMS value, root mean square or RMS value of current we will have to find. And therefore we know that the moving coil voltmeter or ammeter measures the average value of voltage or current. Hence these instruments cannot be used to measure the alternating current or voltage. Hence to measure these quantities, it is necessary to make use of property which does not depend upon the changes in the direction of alternating current or voltage. Now if you consider heating effect, that heating effect depends upon the square of current, which is always positive, because that square will be positive, because according to Joule's law the heat produced H will be proportional to I square RT, and as there is square of current it will be positive, and it does not depend upon the direction of flow of current. And therefore in order to obtain expression for this RMS value of current, let us consider I0 as the peak value of alternating current flowing through any resistance R. So R is the resistance, through that resistance R the peak value of alternating current flowing is I0, and due to the flow of current the heat produced will be equal to H, that is H is equal to heat produced in the time interval T. So in any given time interval T, heat produced is equal to H. Now if you consider this relation, then from this the value of such steady current will be called as the effective value or virtual value, or it is also called as RMS value. So if you consider this current flowing through that resistance, at that time the current will be said to be, that is the steady current, which is called as the effective value or virtual value or RMS value of the given alternating circuit, denoted by IRMS. And therefore the relation between RMS value, that is root mean square value, and peak value, that is maximum value of the alternating current, is given as the relation between RMS value and peak value is given as IRMS square will be equal to integration from 0 to pi I square d theta upon 2 pi. Now this I will be written as I0 sin theta, and therefore it will be written as 1 by 2 pi, because this 2 pi will be taken out of that integration. 2 pi 1 by 2 pi into integration 0 to 2 pi I0 square sin square theta d theta. So this is the value of I square. This I is equal to I0 sin theta, and therefore it will become I0 square sin square theta d theta. But it is the peak value I0 square, and it will be constant, therefore again taken out of integration. Therefore we can write I0 square upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi. Now this sin square theta will be now splitted by using the formula sin square x equal to half 1 minus cos 2x. Sin square x is equal to half 1 minus cos 2x, that is 1 minus cos 2x upon 2. So by using this formula, this sin square theta will be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2 d theta. Now we have to integrate this, and therefore we will get IRMS square will be equal to I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi. This 2 is again taken out of integration, therefore it will be 2 into 2 pi. So it is 2 into 2 pi into theta minus sin 2 theta upon 2. So 1 minus cos 2 theta is integrated, so that we will get theta minus sin 2 theta upon 2, because if you multiply this by theta, then it will be only d theta. So integration of d theta will be equal to theta, and integration of cos will be minus here, that is cos, that will be equal to sin, and therefore we will get I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi into theta minus sin 2 theta upon 2 from 0 to 2 pi. Then this will be written as I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi, I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi into 2 pi. Putting this upper limit and lower limit, we will get lower limit is already 0, not necessary to put, and therefore it will be 2 pi minus sin 2 into 2 pi, that is 4 pi by 2. 2 pi minus sin 4 pi by 2. This term will become 0. Sin 4 pi will be equal to 0. Therefore the second term is 0, and therefore we will get IRMS square equal to I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi into 2 pi only. So this 2 pi will be only left. This is 2 pi. 2 pi will get cancelled, and we will get I0 square by 2 only. So IRMS square equal to I0 square by 2, and therefore taking square root we can write IRMS equal to I0 by root 2. But 1 by root 2, its value is equal to 0.707, and therefore IRMS will be equal to 0.707 I0. Similarly, in case of ERMS, we can write ERMS will be equal to E0 by root 2, that is peak value of EMF upon root 2, and again it will be equal to 0.707 E0. Now if you consider heat produced in that circuit, then when heat produced, if you consider, then heat produced by the sinusoidally varying AC over a complete cycle will be given as the heat produced over the complete cycle due to sinusoidally varying current will be given as heat produced H is equal to integration from 0 to 2 pi by omega, that is in terms of time these limiting values are taken I square at t into r dt. So it is I square RT in the form of Joule's law, that heat equal to I square T r dt. Now here this integral is taken as the function of time. Instead of that, if you convert it into the function of phase, that is omega t, then we can write this term will be having here omega. If it is multiplied by omega, we will have to divide by it omega, so that omega will be taken out of integration because it is angular frequency which is constant, and therefore r by omega integration from 0 to 2 pi. Now I square omega t d omega t. In this case we have written omega t, that is the phase, and therefore limiting values of integration must be from 0 to 2 pi instead of 0 to 2 pi by omega. Here it is time, here it is phase, and therefore limiting values of integration will be like this. Now this equation will be similar to that of above equation, that is I square d theta, because omega t, that is theta is equal to omega t, and therefore if we put the value of I as I0 sin omega t, then this equation will become I0 square sin square omega t d omega t. I0 square sin square omega t d omega t, which will be similar to this equation I0 square sin square theta d theta. Only in place of theta there will be omega t, and therefore in the similar manner if you solve this integration again, then we will get h is equal to the value of this integration, that is I0 square will be again taken out of integration, therefore I0 square will come here, and then we will get the value of h is equal to 2 pi r upon omega into I0 square upon 2, because here I RMS square is equal to I0 square by 2, so this value will come as it is here, and along with it is 2 pi. So the value of this total integration after solving we will get as I0 square by 2 into 2 pi. So like this, I0 square upon 2 into 2 pi. This 2 pi will not be there because already it is present here, and therefore the value of this integration comes out to be I0 square by 2 into 2 pi. So putting it here in this equation, we will get 2 pi r upon omega into I0 square upon 2. So that will be equal to, rearranging the terms, we can write r into this I0 square upon 2 will represent I RMS square, I RMS square, because I RMS square is equal to I0 square upon 2 and into 2 pi by omega. So this equation will give us the heat produced due to sinusoidally varying current, that is R into I RMS square into 2 pi by omega. Now this value will be same for a DC current, that is I RMS at any instant of time small t equal to 2 pi by omega.